It's episode 9 of Motorsport Manager. You can see my washing in the background. What is going on, guys? We are back here for round 9 of our AlphaTauri F1 2020 modded career mode on this game. For our home race at the knockoff Monza. Before we crack into anything else, we've got a dilemma here. R&D pooling. Now, we've invested quite a bit of money into our R&D in the last few episodes, but I don't think we've we don't think we've maxed it out yet. So I think if we put this 150 into the R&D, it might max us out. We don't really need the influence for anything right now, and we can get that through sponsors. We can't really get R&D through anything unless we make more money. So I'm going to go with the R&D, and hopefully, let's check it out. Yeah. So now we don't need to put any more money into our R&D whatsoever, and we've only got 4 races left and 5.7 million in the bank. So let me just check out our sponsors real quick. So we have some expiring. So this would be a good chance to see how much money we actually have floating around. Sponsorship deal has ended here. Let's see what we can do. They make it tough. I really want to keep our expenses per race as low as possible so that I can really keep on top of what we got going on. But you see, if we go for Silverado here, that should take us down to only losing about $1.5 million per race. Although if we meet our sponsor targets, we should only be losing $1.5 million a race anyway. What's that? What's $1.5 million times 4? Quick maths, come on. Okay, Google, what's 1.5 times 4?
1.5x 4 is 6.
£6 million. So if we put this 2 million in, I reckon we can get away with building one part for our car, which might just settle down our drivers. So we're going to go ahead and pick this one and get a little bit of the influence as well. If we can build a good part, we've been quite good recently, if we can build a good part, we should be able to meet our sponsor targets. So I'm going to go ahead and build a part. Also, before the end of the season, we will have more sponsors expire, hopefully, and new ones come in. That way we'll get a little bit more money. So we should be fine. We'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel at this point, but we should be okay. So let's see what we should build. Wow, look at how bad our car is. Engine, rear wing and suspension all 19th. Right, can we build any of those? Right, it's got. I say it's got to be a suspension, but the suspension is the most expensive one. That's really not what I wanted to go for. Let's have a look between brakes and front wing. It looks like the front wing. Oh no, I would say brakes. Let's go for some brakes. Let's just have a quick look at the part marketplace, because sometimes there's some good stuff in there. No, we're going to build some brakes. They're nice and cheap. We're going to lump the reliability into it, because as much as I would like to put in performance, I feel like we need the reliability. We're mainly only doing this just to keep the drivers happy. So yeah, we won't get it before this race, but we will get it before round 10. So for the final 3 rounds of the season, we will have new brakes for one of our drivers. I think we'll give it to whoever does better in this race. That would be a good way to do it. They know now, they're both unhappy, they both want new parts, they know we're building new parts. I'm going to say whoever does better in this race gets the new brakes. That's the incentive. But we're going to go down here to qualifying for the knockoff Monza Grand Prix, our home Grand Prix for AlphaTauri here in Milan. Got a little bit of cloud coverage coming onto the track as they come round to finish their first runs here. 2 seconds off the Mercedes. Oh dear. Wow, we do not have the pace around here. I think this is a very engine dependent circuit, and evidently we just are not up with the big boys at this point. Okay, so we've maxed out both cars. And in theory, this early on in the session, they should probably both get 2 runs. Especially on a quick circuit like this, it's quite a short lap time. So realistically, We should get another run off this one, but they're both improving. Can't get above our sponsor target though. That's really worrying. Like, we just do not have the performance here, like the straight line speed. We are going to get one more go at this. Come on, this time, boys. Gasly is up, Sainz is up. They're both improving. This is what we want to see. Gasly doesn't improve, Sainz does, but not enough. He only gets past Lance Stroll, so it's going to be 14th and 16th on the grid at our home Grand Prix. It's really not good enough, and honestly, it looks like that little point streak we got in the middle of the season is starting to drop off as we come back down towards the end here. No money, that's a massive, massive blow, to be quite honest. So here we have the grid then. We've got Max Verstappen on pole. He's having a little bit of a championship resurgence now. Charles Leclerc second, having dropped down to third in the championship. The two Mercedes third and fourth, first and second in the championship. Then we've got Albon and Vettel in reverse championship order, fifth and sixth. Then we've got the two Haas cars, once again absolutely flying in this save for no apparent reason, followed by the two McLarens. Lando Norris having quite a disappointing championship. Kvyat came in halfway through the season and is 4 places ahead of him in the championship. That's really worrying for him. Same thing with Renault, the disparity between their drivers. There's 8 positions in the championship between them, even though they qualify next to each other for this race. Then there's this little tangle between us and the Racing Points. Lance Stroll having nowhere near the season on this game that he is in real life. And then we've got the Williams and the Alfa Romeos at the back of the grid. As always, disappointing from both of those. But we go in here, we're going to have much quicker pit stops for both drivers, which is a massive positive. I think we're going to start here on the mediums and try and do a 1 stop on the medium tyre both times, and I think we'll put Carlos on the softs, and probably we might even be able to go to the mediums with him, but I think it'll be a little bit touch and go. We'll have to wait and see, but we do come down here then for 5 red lights. In Milan, we are away, off the line. It's not the worst start on earth. Sainz is challenging he's challenging the Renaults and Perez, and somebody spun, and it's Valtteri Bottas. So Bottas all the way down at the back here. That's going to ruin his chances of doing anything in this race, you would have to imagine, surely. Ricciardo's had an absolutely stunning start, getting a fastest lap in there and moving all the way up to 6th place. Unbelievable in that Renault. And Sainz here is actually making moves and starting to have a little look at the rear end of the points positions if he can just get past Ocon, but he couldn't, and now Norris has got the better of him. So, wow, an interesting start. We are going to definitely lose the place, even though we have made our way up into the up over our sponsor objective. Well, when I said we were going to lose the place, I didn't think it was going to be to Lance Stroll. Come on, Sainz. I thought it was going to be to Bottas working his way back through, but wow, we are falling backwards here. Raikkonen going through as well, and you know, Stroll and Ocon are on the harder compound tyres, like harder than either of our drivers, which is extremely worrying, because like, where is the pace, you know? Like, why is Sainz so slow? We're going to bump him up to rich mix and try and stick with Valtteri Bottas as he carves his way through here. It's almost working, but once again he just can't get past Esteban Ocon. Not a positive sign this time. Surely he'll get through. I'll give him a little bit of ERS to help him, but as we go into the first corner he clearly runs wide and lets Ocon and Stroll back through again. Very worrying signs here for us pace-wise. We are going to stop Sainz now. It feels like those first 5 laps literally flew past, but since he got 5 laps out of those softs like was predicted, you will only assume that he can get the same out of the mediums as they're predicted. So we're going to stop him here. Oh, but we've got a virtual safety car right in front of us there. Lance Stroll crashed at that chicane. We do get a place out of that, and in fact this pit stop will massively work in our benefit here. I'm not going to double stack, as tempting as it is. There's a 3-second gap between them, but we really don't need to stop Gasly yet. And in fact, if we can stretch his tyres out under this virtual safety car by, you know, taking it easy, we've only got 10 seconds left of it here, but if we can do that, even though we have essentially lost the opportunity for a free pit stop that Sainz has taken here, we hopefully will get his tyres maybe to the end of lap 9, and maybe we can put him onto a set of softs and we won't have to do 2 medium stints with Pierre Gasly. But this is definitely going to shake things up because quite a few drivers pit there, and I'm not entirely sure who it was. From the looks of things, Bottas must have pit. In fact, a lot of the front runners have very, very comfortable tyres, so we may have just made a very poor strategy play with Pierre Gasly here. It looks like he is a little bit hung out to dry right now. We're going to have to conserve the tyres if we want to do the strategy that we were planning to do. But I think he's totally lost that free pit stop opportunity now. Through goes Romain Grosjean. That's not a surprise with how fast the Haas cars have been so far in this save. Okay, we just want to get Pierre Gasly to the end of this lap, and we're going to pit, and just as we were talking there, Romain Grosjean's spun now as well, so a very strange race, a lot of mistakes here. We are going to give Sainz some ERS and hopefully get him past Pierre Gasly here. Just let him escape. Didn't want to really put team orders in because it just felt unnecessary, but we are going to pit stop Gasly here. I feel like a little bit of a waste opportunity. I didn't realise so many people had pit underneath the virtual safety car. Obviously, you know, now Gasly is running around right at the back of the pack. He's got that tyre advantage, but he's 18 seconds off the back of George Russell, which is, you know, he's not really going to be getting any positions out of this. Although the McLaren's double stacking here, looks like their strategy really hasn't worked. And in fact, a lot of drivers are pitting, so there is a chance here that Gasly could make up some places. He does in fact get all the way back up to 15th, but you can see here on the screen, Carlos Sainz is in P10 right now, and he has a little bit of a gap behind to Grosjean because of his spin. All we have to do is hold this off for 3 more laps. The tyres, you can see, starting to fall away a little bit here, but hopefully we can just hang them on and stick ourselves on the rear end of some points. That I would be very impressed with that, and I mean that would be a testament to the strategy really, because you know that's the only reason this will have worked out under that virtual safety car. Having said that, we do have to maintain our pace here because Grosjean is no slouch in that Haas car, unlike in real life, and he is going to challenge us for those points. At the end of the day, I will be happy just meeting our sponsor objective right now. That is, you know, one of the main things as we set his tyres to conserve. We come on to the final lap. We've got a lot of ERS saved up, which will work in our favour, and we have some fuel spare as well. But you can see here Grosjean closing in. I really don't want to lose this points position. We are going to turn the ERS on now, and hopefully he gets back through. Gasly's ERS is full as well, so we're going to put his on. And that ERS has actually just saved us here. We got so far ahead of Romain Grosjean, and Carlos Sainz does score another point for us here at our home Grand Prix, completely out of the blue. Gasly recovers to 15th, which isn't a terrible result considering how that strategy worked. A real disaster class from McLaren there. Neither car finishing in the points, so I will absolutely take that. 10th succeeded. £200,000 takes us down to only just over 1.5 million lost, if I am correct. But here we are then. The race results. Charles Leclerc wins for Ferrari for the 2nd year in a row at Monza. Very strong performance there. Did not expect that, to be quite honest. Max Verstappen fell off completely during that race down to 4th. Brilliant recovery from Bottas to get back to 5th. After that first lap spin there. 2 Ferraris on the podium with Lewis Hamilton. And really all that does is slightly drop Valtteri Bottas back from that championship fight. Good result for Daniel Ricciardo and Perez and Sainz. But again, yeah, terrible from McLaren. Ocon once again having a really poor race. Lance Stroll crashing out, still on 0 points. George Russell, really strong result in the Williams actually. Probably one of their best finishes of the season in terms of just like raw pace. There was only one retirement in this race. So yeah, we move on to look at the championship. It does give us that little bit of breathing space again from Alfa Romeo. 2 points clear now and 4 points clear of Williams. So bar any ridiculously dramatic occurrences in the final 3 rounds, it does look like we are going to secure 8th in the championship. I know that level of gap is so volatile. Like all it takes is 1/8 place for a Williams and it closes up completely. But like, come on, an 8th place for a Williams. Still a real scrap going on for first place. Red Bull not that far behind Mercedes in the grand scheme of things. All they need is like a 1-2 in a race, and for Mercedes to come mid-points. But yeah, we move on to the driver standings, and you can see here Charles Leclerc with his 4th win of the year puts himself back up to the lead of the championship, 2 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who is obviously chasing that 7th World Championship. Valtteri Bottas, like I said, just drops out of that fight a little bit, drops 14 points back now, so he has got work to do. Max Verstappen still keeping himself in play a little bit, and Sebastian Vettel, the only driver in the top 6 without a win this year. So, you know, Ferrari are doing him a little bit dirty in real life, and on this save, you know, you can see he's clearly second best to Charles Leclerc here, which, I mean, I think he has reached his peak, and he's over that peak in this save. So there is a good chance he will actually retire at the end of the season, which again might be really similar to real life, but he is 41 points behind his teammate now with 3 rounds to go and 0 wins compared to Charles Leclerc's 4, which is a very, very worrying position for him to be in for a multiple world champion. Okay, now, so as I was saying, Red Bull just need like a 1-2 to get themselves up into contention with Mercedes, and they are bringing a brand new engine for the next race. Something they probably could have done with it this race actually, considering how much of a high-speed track it was, but nevertheless, this will not hurt them. The engine is crucial in this game, so yeah, that may shake up things. Ferrari also bringing a new front wing, so Mercedes' biggest competitors both bringing upgrades for the next race, and McLaren bringing some new brakes, so interesting. Although, unless they get their strategy right in the next race, it doesn't matter how good their car is, they are going to end up in exactly the same place as they did in this one. But there we are. We've got Sainz Jr. happy because the race went well. It actually did go really well for Sainz. I am very impressed with the way that went for him. And the happy trait is just an extra bonus. You know, now he's going to have +1 on all of his stats. Both the drivers getting an improvement point. We only lose 1.5 million. It's going pretty well, guys. Honestly, this episode went so much better than I expected it to go. We have got our part built complete. We've got our new brakes. And as I said at the start of this episode, that's a really good part as well. This whole episode, guys, has been so good. Literally, smash the like button if you're enjoying this, because I feel like we deserve it just for how well this episode has gone. 13 better than expected performance, and we've got 99 reliability on this part, this is ludicrous compared to the reliability of our parts coming up to this. So, as I said, we are going to give this part to the driver that did better in that race, and that was Sainz Jr. So we're going to swap the current parts because the brakes that Sainz had were already better than the ones that Gasly had. And now we are going to give Sainz these new brakes. Doesn't change our position on the performance charts there. We're still 15th and 16th on the brakes performance, but Sainz overall car performance up over 1,200, and the reliability up to 75%, which is pretty solid. That, you know, I can't remember the last time we had a retirement based on a mechanical issue. You know, most of it's been crashes. So yeah, hopefully we shouldn't really be suffering that in any races. Going to spend our points here. We're going to give Gasly a better race start because, as we saw from Bottas in that race, they're pretty crucial. And Sainz, he's looking pretty cozy on all of these stats right now. We're going to give him more consistent lap times, I think. Sainz here up to 4.5 stars compared to Gasly just above 3 stars. That is crazy. And really, now he's starting to look like the driver we're spending so much money on. You know what I mean? Like, it's starting to pay off. He's got us 2 points finishes out of our 3 points finishes this year now. And, you know, going forward, he is going to be a big asset to this team, I think, if he can maintain that level of form. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much again for watching. I'm going to try and get the first series of this save done very, very soon. There'll be a couple more episodes coming in the next few weeks. We've only got 3 races to go, and then we will move on to 2021, which is going to be extremely exciting. I will reveal all my plans in the upcoming episodes, so keep your eyes out for those episodes. Not just for that, also they're going to be extremely exciting because the championship is heating up, very close at the top of the championship. Anything could happen. I would say any of the top 6, or at least top 5, are still in with a realistic shout at the championship. So, and we definitely still have 3 teams in contention. So, very interesting title fight, very interesting bottom of the table scrap that we're involved in. And yeah, I'm going to be revealing all the plans for the next season of this career mode. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, please drop a like on the video. It really, really helps. Please subscribe to the channel as well. I looked in my analytics the other day, and only 50% of my viewers are subscribed to the channel. 50% of you aren't subscribed. So yeah, it would really mean the world. It would really help the channel grow, and obviously you get to see this beautiful mug and all the content that I'm putting out on this channel. So yeah, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Stay cool.